become stressed or if they're under pressure, they modify and they elevate into different, you know, some people can become very confrontational when they're stressed out. And we could break that all down and get into all of that. But for starters, sales is a process. It's impact selling is the way that I learned it. Investigate, meet, probe, apply, convince, and tie up. So you're going from the beginning to the closing table, and hopefully during this whole time you're going to be building a relationship with these people. You're building rapport. You have to know how to ask questions to get the answers so that you can help them. Overcoming objections. You know what? We're going to think about it. Well, what is that? You know, I was just watching a video the other day on it. What is it? It's nothing. There's nothing you can grab on there, you know, to turn that into an opportunity for you to help them. You know, there's a script, and Tom Hawkins came up with it. And, you know, we want to think it over. That's great, Mr. and Mrs. Johnson. I really appreciate that. But what is it exactly that you want to think over? Was it my service to you as an agent? Well, no. You know, you did a pretty good job. Okay. Was it the house? You know, we've looked at a lot of houses, and I know that this one, you know, meets all your criteria. No, it's not really the house. Well, you know, gosh, is it the price? Well, yeah, it's the price. Now you got something that you can help these people with because you've taken something that he calls it a ghost that you have no idea what it is. Now you got a concrete objection that you could work with. And, you know, that's all part of this whole package that we're going to help you guys with. The first thing that you got to do in any sales process or any process is it's the investigate stage. And what is that? That is, how many listings does Keller Williams have? Anybody know?
37.
38, I saw this.
Oh, 38?
38. Yeah, we got another one.
38 one.
We got,
Oh, I added the 38. Okay.
We got 16 land and lots, 13 residential, and some commercial out there. So you guys need to know that. You know, this is part of who we are. You know, being part of Keller Williams here it's such a huge opportunity. Chris was going over some of the technological resources that we have, and he's obviously very knowledgeable about it. You don't have that stuff at a lot of other agencies, and a lot of times, you know, you got to do it yourself. And so, I mean, just having that in the background that we could use as a resource is huge. But, you know, we got to be aware of where we are as an office and as a team, guys. We're all in this together. We are Keller Williams. You know, the people that are sitting in this room right now, and the other agents that we have. I mean, we are Keller Williams. We're the ones who are going to take this to the next level, and we are the ones who are going to build this. It's us. It's, you know, it's exciting, and you know, we're going to help you get there. And I mean, it's happening. There's so much going on, but you know, how many listings do we have? That's something that you guys got to know. How many listings are on the market right now? Just right here in Billings, there's about 390 active listings. How many houses are pending and contingent? There's about 270 pending sales right now. So, you know, there's about almost 300 houses that are going to close in the next month. How many houses have sold in the last 6 months? What's going on? Well, active, pending, contingent, and closed properties, there's over 1,400. So over the last 6 months, there's been 1,400 closed properties, active properties. I mean, market movement, that's huge. You know, that's a lot of activity. And as realtors, that's our job, is to know this stuff. And that's the investigate stage. And that's number one. And I can't do it for you, and Chris can't do it for you. You know, that's what you guys got to do. I know that a lot of people,
How do we do it? Do we just, the MLS, does it give you all that?
The MLS, there's so many resources, but yeah, get into the MLS, and that's
powerful resource you can't have. Nobody else has it. You do.
Billings, Montana is a non-disclosure state. Nobody knows what their neighbor's house sold for, but we do. You know, tax records, houses are assessed through taxes. You can get an idea. Sometimes those numbers are right on. Sometimes they're $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 below market value because they don't assess them all the time. They do it, every 3 years, I think. And so this investigate stage is fundamental in order to, I mean, we could talk about scripts and we could talk about meeting people in open houses, and I'll give you guys scripts. I'll give you guys gold right now. This is huge. When you're at an open house, one of the best things you could ask people at some point during the process is what's going on with your current housing situation that you want to change. It's an open-ended question that they're going to answer. Well, you know, we're renting right now. Okay, you know that you're dealing with maybe a first-time home buyer. You're going to kind of have an idea, you know, of where they're going to be price range. They're probably not going to be buying a $250,000 house, although they may be, you know. But it's going to give you information. When you're talking to people, you need to ask the questions and to get this information out of them. I've had conversations with people at open houses for 30 minutes. I don't know the name of their first dog. I know the name of their grandmother, and they walk out of there and they don't have a phone number. You know, what did you do? You just kind of wasted your time. You didn't get anything. You got to learn how to develop this ability to talk to people and ask questions. And the scripts are a big part of it. But none of that's going to do any good if you don't have the foundation. And the foundation is the investigation stage. And that, like I said, that's something that you guys all have to do. Get in the MLS. Is anybody here? Has anybody ever set up a property search?
That would be my suggestion.
Okay, I have myself signed up for all different types of property searches, and I sign my clients up for property searches. But one of the first things that you should do is sign yourself up for an expired property search. Now, don't make it too big. You want to focus this down into a certain area. If you live in the Heights and you want to focus on the Heights, just keep it up in the Heights so that anytime a listing expires, you get an email. So you get notification that there is now somebody who was on the market previously, who wanted to sell their house, who was unable to sell their house for whatever reason it might be. It was priced too high, you know, whatever, but you just got a lead, basically. And sometimes, you know, if you go through and you look at it, most expired listings sell because they start overpriced, it might expire, and then they talk to their agent again, they lower the price, they get it to where it needs to be, and it sells. Or it could be expired, it was too much money. You go in there as the real estate professional, and here's another one, good one that I use all the time. You might not always like what I have to say, but I'll never lie to you. And that's good, because you know what you're telling them is you're like, hey, you might not like this, but it's the truth. I'm not lying. Another good one, guys, market dictates price. Okay, the market determines how much your house is worth, not you, not me. You know, it's the market. It's what other people are willing to pay for your house that is going to determine how much it's going to sell for. And there's a whole other can of worms you can get into to work on that. But what I would encourage you guys to do and really emphasize is start digging around in the MLS. Start reading. I wish that there were some more people here, because I think everybody should get an accountability partner in this group of agents that we have. Somebody that you get along with, that you can talk to, maybe that you guys could sit around for a half hour and do some role playing, or do some just read the buy sells to each other. When you sit down with a client, I mean, it's got to be smooth. It's got to be smooth, and the only way that it gets smooth is by reading it over and over and over. And sometimes you guys are going to have questions, but you know what? That's Damien, Chris, Barbara, me. You know, I'm not a broker, so I'm not going to get into the legalese of any of that stuff, but I could share with you how I do my presentations and whatnot. And so this is all part of this is the investigate stage. Learn your buy sells, learn your listing agreements, learn what's on the market, keep an eye on what's going expired, because we're going to give you the tools and the resources and the lines to use to talk to these people and get listings, to know what to say and how to say it and when to say it, to know how to ask the questions that's going to get you the information that you need. Everybody, when people come into your open houses, when people have their houses listed, they have an itch, okay? And they're not going to stop until that itch gets scratched, basically, or they're told that they can't do it, you know? And so when people are coming into your open houses, they're looking for a house to buy. They could buy it from you, or they could buy it from me or somebody else down the street, but they're going to buy a house. Or they're going to be told by the lender that they can't. And so, you know, just keep that in mind, you know, when you're talking to these people. They have a need, and you could provide the service to help them meet their goals. And so we're going to get into all this, and it's exciting and it's dynamic. And you know, I'm a high energy kind of guy. You know, I like to keep it boosted up. You know, I wouldn't mind you just getting the chat going. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just like this, and that's the way I think that every meeting should.